Thank you so much for coming here this afternoon and addressing FICCI Telangana. As you have rightly and comprehensively covered what's happening in Saudi Arabia, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is going through transformational changes, and India is fast emerging as a $5 trillion economy as envisioned by our Prime Minister. We have had historic cultural relations. We have enjoyed excellent relationship with Saudi Arabia in terms of providing employment opportunities for our people, and also as custodian of the holy places, our people have been visiting, and you have been very kind to our people. We're grateful for that. Now we see Saudi Arabia, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia emerging as an investment destination. India is looking for opportunities in Saudi, and Saudi Arabia is also looking for opportunities to invest in strategic areas. And both the leaders of your country and our country have set the vision. In this context, I would like to ask you, what is it that attracts India to you at this juncture more than what it has been all these years and days, Your Excellency?
Well, thank you very much for this very important question, but there are so many things that attract Indian to us today, as it did in the past, actually. What we offer today to India and other investors from around the world is, a very competitive opportunities in the kingdom in terms of the cost of starting up businesses, in terms of the availability of very advanced logistics, whether in our seaports that we have so many, and in different parts of the kingdom, and on the eastern coast and in the west coast, and also the very advanced transportation system that we have, including a modern railway networks across the kingdom, and also the very efficient reforms that we are doing in our country and in all sectors, including the streamlining and simplification of the process of and procedure for starting up businesses. So as I mentioned, now it takes less than 48 hours to get a license issued by our investment authority, SAGIA, and also they have reduced the requirements in terms of document necessary for getting the license from nearly 12 documents to 2 or 3 documents. The commercial attaché is here. He can remind me of the exact number. But also the reforms in terms of the ownership. We have allowed more, or we have now opened more sectors for investors from around the world to come and invest in the kingdom and enjoy 100% ownership. And also what attracts Indian companies in particular, and Indian investors, in my opinion, is a very important factor which you made reference to during your remarks, is that the people-to-people connection. Indians and Saudi Arabians are not stranger to each other. So your people and investors know our country very well, and know our people very well. They have been operating there for many years, and I think, taking in mind also the very important reforms we are doing and the very important incentives we are offering to the Indian investors, adding to the culture ties that we enjoy, that will make it very, very attractive for Indian companies to go and invest in Saudi Arabia. I think our relationship had started centuries ago by people who came here for commerce and learning and so on, and it had continued for centuries and produced about cultural understanding, benefits, friendship, cultural exchanges, and so on. We are seeing the same now, that people are driving the relationship. It's a relationship that is based on interest and that benefits both people. So that's why you have millions of Indians living and working in Saudi Arabia. The question is, why do you go there? They go to Saudi Arabia because they like it, because there are opportunities there, and I think that this is the main factor, that the opportunities are available and people are happy with what they see and experience in Saudi Arabia. And adding to this the many reforms, I think there will be more incentives and more reasons for Indians to go to Saudi Arabia, whether from the private sector or investors or even professionals who are looking for job opportunities in the kingdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are already late for lunch, I would request you to restrict the questions to just 5. And yeah, I'll come to that. Yeah. Is it okay, Your Excellency? Yes. Quickly, short questions, and restrict yourself to the subject matter the Excellency has covered, please. Anybody? Yeah, give the mic there, please.
Thank you so much for the information shared, the kind of a transformation it's going on. My name is Diwakar Singh. I run IT services from predominantly into digital services. On the World Tourism Day, King announced the relaxation for 49 countries and the visa waivers and other things, including China. What is your stand towards India? And India is a tourism destination for you. You're looking at 100 million visitors by 2030. What is the role of India you're looking in that direction?
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you. This is a very good question. And let me assure you that India is one of the most important, market for us, and also one of the most important destinations. We would like to attract Indian tourists. We would like them to come and see our country. And believe me, I check on a daily basis on how many tourist visas have been given to our Indian friends to visit the kingdom since we started the tourist visa a few weeks ago. And yes, there were certain countries that they can get visa online, or in some cases upon arrival. It's a process that depends on the arrangements bilaterally between these countries and Saudi Arabia, and probably they offer the same to Saudi tourists and so on. In the case of India and Saudi Arabia, let me remind you that millions of people go to Saudi Arabia, and I mean it, every year. According to our statistics, over the last 3-4 years, the average of visa given to Indian nationals is 1.2 million visa. And of course, as you know, many of them go for Umrah and Hajj, and hundreds of thousands go for other purposes like business visit and so on. We've tried here to our best to make the process very simple and very clear and very quick. One of the very good things that we do here in Delhi or in Bombay at the consulate is that the visa application gets processed in less than 24 hours in our embassy, particularly in Delhi, and we look forward even to making it easier. Remember that Umrah visa now is done online, Hajj visa is done online, and I look to the moment when we see also tourist visa and business visa can be done online for our Indian friends. I hope that we can reach a point where we can have also tourist visa online or upon arrival. I get your point, and I'll do my best to make it easier and simplify it and make it available in cooperation with the Indian authorities. Thank you very much. And of course, the center in Riyadh. Thanks.
The next question will be asked by Ms. Sona Chitwani, chairperson of FICCI Ladies Organization.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Hyderabad. So is there a plan to empower women politically as leaders, as informed voters, or even as active citizens so that they are in a better position to take control of their economic views?
Well, thank you, Sonia, for this question. And you know, we've started reforming our regulations and procedures and regarding participation of women in public life, generally speaking, and government and so on. And of course, under Vision 2030, we introduced very progressive reforms and empowerments for enabling women actually to play the role they aspire to play in the affairs of their country, in the public sector and in the private sector. Let me say something, that Saudi women are great achievers. They are very well educated. We have so many scholars and achievers among them. We have so many leaders among them. And to give you just an example of the excellent participation and opportunities that are available for them, is that nearly 30% of our students who study abroad on scholarship provided by the government are female. So we have nearly 100,000 Saudi students, and they earn these positions based on their merits, based on their grades. They perform well and better than boys in our universities, and their numbers are larger than our boys in our universities. Now you see Saudi women leading. The stock market of Saudi Arabia is chaired by a Saudi lady. You find them as CEOs of banks. You find them in the our different ministries. And I always say to my Indian friends, is the moment you land in Saudi Arabia, the first good impression you will see is that you will be admitted by Saudi females at our passport counters, and also you will be guided and helped when you move in our airports by Saudi girls. And when you go to the city or interact with hotels or government agencies, you will find, if you call by phone, the one who's answering you on the other end of the line is a Saudi female. We are so proud of them, and we are so happy about the role they play in the leadership of their economy and their society, and they have been there, and they have taken the opportunities available for them in a wonderful manner. They are excelling, and you will see more Saudi women leading in many aspects of the as administration and society. Let me also share with you that we have now a wonderful ambassador in Washington, D.C., Princess Rima, the first Saudi ambassador ever. We have some female diplomats, including in our embassy in Delhi for the first time ever. And the opportunities are there, and there will be more for them. They earned it, they deserve it, they are wonderful, and they deserve our thanks and appreciation. Yeah, thank you.
Next question, please. Yeah, give them a mic there. Last, the lady there, please.
Hello, sir. I'm Mansa. I run a business in Hyderabad and I do trade with Saudi Arabia. I have a couple of questions. Are Indian women allowed to do business, to get a business visa in Saudi Arabia? And the second one is there is not much of clarity on the export customs duty and the SABR and SASO regulations, because most of the literature in the websites is in Arabic, and even though we translate it, the PDFs are not translatable. So we took a help of a translator to initiate our first export. So is there anywhere where we can get access to such information, sir?
Yes. Well, I thank you very much for the comments you made about the availability of information regarding export to Saudi Arabia. I think this is a very important point, and I appreciate you sharing this point with me, because what I'm going to do is to emphasize what I've said before, that we have to have always an updated information about doing business in Saudi Arabia and about exports regulations and so on. I believe they do have a very good websites, like the Ministry of Commerce and Investment, and also the Chamber of Commerce and so on. But I will bring this up to their attention and make sure that we do have the information in Arabic and also in English, because people who don't understand Arabic and who live outside Saudi Arabia, most likely they will be looking for information in English. So I thank you very much for this point. I promise you I'll take it up and make sure that it is looked at and fixed if it needs be. Regarding women going to Saudi Arabia, the business visa rules actually does not distinguish between